We're back with the R2 unit, and yes, this is box 18 out of 25, and yeah, we're moving right along. We've got the head, we've got the legs. That means this has to be some part of the body. Better stay tuned. This is your Geek Fix. So we have the head all looking pretty good and pretty much complete. We have the legs. We even have some other bits and bobbles that we still need to figure out or put together. But now we're on to box 18 out of 25, which means that we're quite a ways into things. We've got some pretty cool details here that look familiar, and some really heavy metal pieces that I'm seeing. I believe that we're going to start building the actual body today, the actual inner structure as well of the body. More panels from the outside. And of course we have our magazines also, which is issues 67 through what, 70? Yeah, 70. It's exactly what we're talking about. So I'm going to close that up and put it over there. It's been a little while for me too. Now continuing on with R2 and some of these magazines. This one right here is about major changes that they made to Star Wars just before it was released. There's actually a story that you can hear about and even see some of the unedited versions of, where while they were still making it, some of the crew decided to go to a theater in England and
somewhere in space, this may all be happening right now.
While there, they got to see a trailer that was basically made from cuts that they had made thus far without any of the special audio, without James Earl Jones' voice, without the current music or a lot of the special effects, and it was just highly discouraging to them as they went and they saw this, and you know, after weeks also of people making fun of basically what they were doing, because a lot of the people that were even working on it from England thought that it was just a joke, that it was going to be a stupid, cheap sci-fi type movie. And of course, you know, then we added in the music, we got the right composer and things, and within the last weeks they did an overhaul and the whole thing turned out like we know it now. The other thing I forget about these particular magazines is that unlike the Iron Man magazines, which I've been doing for a little while, which focus mostly on just the movie or on the comics, this also gets a lot into science, because this is really more of a science-y kind of project. So they talk about the things that you're going to be working on and how they relate to not only the technology in the movie, but also technologies that's out there today that does the things that we talked about in the movie. So, anyway, so we are going to be building now the inside of R2. So we're going to be building a lot of the inner structure, and then we're also going to start working on some of the outer structure that will eventually be connecting to this head and legs that we've got all completely done. So we're starting with number 67. So I need to grab number 67 here. Let's see. 67. Big, heavy metal pieces. The thing to remember about this is, yeah, it's half scale, but this thing is still very, very heavy. A lot of the reasons why this model, unlike the Iron Man, is mostly plastic on a lot of the parts is because they have to compensate for a lot of these metal parts. So the motors and everything that are running it are going to be able to reasonably do their job. So I've got some big metal plates here that look different from each other. These pieces that look similar to each other, and some screws, which it's a mix of screws. You know, this is another thing I forgot about this set versus the Iron Man set, is that these screws aren't always marked very well. And in this case, we don't even have a bag that has the same color screws. Look at that. 2 bags, 2 sets of screws inside of each bag. So anyway, all right, so now what I'm going to be doing is, let's see, I need to be taking, maybe these pieces, maybe I'm wrong, maybe these pieces are similar, but they are marked So that's good. BF30 and BF30. So they're both BF30s. Maybe all the pieces are the same, so it doesn't matter which one I use for what. I'm going to take one BF27, which are these right here, and I'm going to be connecting that to one of my BF30s, and I'm going to be doing that just like, see how there's a peg right here, there's a hole right here, and I'm going to be taking it and locking it on to that peg, I guess, just like so, right? Yep. And that'll hold it in place while I put in a 2.3 by 6 millimeter screw. Oh, I see how to lay these out. So they do have a little bit of a diagram showing my screws and their numbers and their sizes. I'm gonna go ahead and lay them out on the table in much the same way as I can, just so I don't lose it. Exciting thing about doing this right now, this is the same weekend to the week of May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. 1977 Star Wars release. But again, I'm reconnecting that just like this, right there, there we go. And I'm flipping it over to this side, like so. And then I need my screwdriver, which is right here. I also forget about the screwdrivers. Of course, our Iron Man set, we have this same screwdriver that we use, as well as the other screwdriver. And I found I've had to use both of them because one is really good for torque, which is this one, because it's so long. And then the Iron Man one is better for doing some other things. But anyway, so let's stick that into there, tighten it down. I think that is the one, maybe, yep, that's that. And then we do the same thing over on this other side. I can't remember, I think this is the bottom of R2 actually, on the inside. The bottom inside of R2. Oh, did I not grab the same screw? I think I did. All right. Huh. I'm still not 100% on these screws, but all right. Now, obviously, we're taking this one. It should pretty much line up. Click there, and another one right there. Flip it over, and I'm going to put in 2 screws now on the opposing side, just like this. As always, they have screws that go all the way through and tighten onto your finger. Okay. So these screws that I'm using based on this are four of the 5 fixing screws. So they did give me one extra. If I did things the way I should, apparently they do have one extra screw that they gave you. So that would be about right. There you go. There's that piece that we've got so far. And that completes this magazine. And I still got my Iron Man magazines in here from my last build, which is only 2 boxes away from being done. Iron Man is almost complete. By the time I'm done with these boxes I'm actually working on today, I will have all but 2 to go. So this will take me up to box 23. At the same time, you might be thinking, I do get a lot of criticism from people saying, well, if you already filmed this and that, why don't you just go ahead and release it? And the reason, oh, wow, I like those droids. And the reason for that is that the way I've been doing these is that I will do several builds at once, true, just because then it keeps me from having to lose things, but also then all I have to do is just edit, and editing is not short. As you can tell, I do edit. And so you'll notice also we still have a bunch of screws over here I haven't touched yet. That's the other thing about this kit that I don't like versus the other, the Iron Man one, is that with Iron Man, when you open the bag and assemble what's inside, you don't have to worry about the screws anymore. This one, you better be holding on to your screws because they're probably going to ask you to use them again. So, anyway, we're on to 68. And, all right, but nope, there's no screws in there. So sure enough, I think they're having me use some from the kit I just barely did. And all right, look at that. That's one of our first pieces for the shell. I was planning on painting these because I would like to give them a little different gloss or paint job. But I'm actually waiting because it doesn't make sense to paint a piece. If I wait and I'm doing piece by piece as I'm getting them, typically it could result in some problems. So I guess I'm gonna just wait until I'm done and then decide if I want to go backward and upgrade some pieces. So anyway, so what we're gonna be doing here is I'm gonna be taking, first off, wait, what? Oh, those are screws. Yep. So some of the screws that they just gave me, we're going to be using in combination with this piece right here, this piece right here, which kind of sticks right into that, right? I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to be using one of my black screws from last time, which I think is going to be, let's see here, it says 1 of 3, though. Like, no, it's got to be this one. Got to be this one, right? I think it is. Let's hope so. It does say 3 though. And I don't have 3 of these. I only got 2 of those. I do have 3 of these. But that doesn't look like the right kind of screw. It's not. I have 3 of these little tiny ones. But I thought that was too small. But let's find out. I'm going to try one of the tiny ones. Stick it in there and see if it's too tiny or if it's just right. Whoops. It's also too small. It feels like for the end of my screwdriver here. I don't know. Doesn't feel right. I'm just not sure about this, but wait. Wait a minute. Could it be? No, it's not. Oh, wait, no, it is. Okay, there we go, self-tapped. All right. Now I'm taking that, I'm sticking it straight onto here, just like that. Then I'm taking another one of those screws, same screw type, and I'm putting them now right here. I'm screwing that on, just like that. This one might be too long. Okay, and 2 screws on there, which attaches that just like that and gives it that effect. Nice little two-tone effect without any painting needed. And now we're going to take this moon piece here, and I'm going to stick it right on to here, just like that. It just says it fits flush, and it does. It fits flush, right, like that. We don't put any screws into it. Then I'm going to take this piece right here. And then I'm going to take this piece right here and this piece right here. I'm going to flip them over, and I'm going to stick it so that these holes come through. There they are, just like that. And then gives it that nice look. And we're going to be sticking that right along here. You see there's some notches right there, some notches on here too, sticking those right in there like that, and then flipping it over, and we're attaching that with more of those 4mm screws. I think so. I have all these 4mm screws that maybe I do. If I knew exactly what they look like, maybe I would say yes. That is exactly what I got. Okay, I guess it was. All right, that's one. Is this it? This might be it. Yep. Okay. All right. So we've got some nice details here. That and like that and like that. Kind of cool. All right, and then moving on to the next magazine. This This is 69. Okay. Oh boy. Here comes some more metal structure with 69. It doesn't look like we're attaching this though to the one that we previously built, which I think is to the bottom. I'm not sure where this part goes. I'm not a huge fan of these no new screws. Oh man, really? Can't there just be some new screws? Do we really have to pull from old screws that I don't even know if I have? Oh no, this is where the silver ones are that they gave us. Okay, whew. Starting to get worried there. All right, so I'm gonna be taking this piece right here. Whoops, except I can flip it over so that the numbers are on the top. Taking this piece also so the numbers are on the top, connecting it into that part right there. And then we're gonna take one of these, which we have used before, and putting it on like so. And right, it's on this side or on the bottom side? Oh, on the bottom side. Okay, it's fine. Bottom side, just like that. Okay, and then we're putting the screws through this direction. So I'm going to be using these that they gave us, I believe. And be frustrated if that's not the screw that we're supposed to be using, because those are the ones that they gave us. And tightening that down. Oh, that is it. 2. And like that. And then, let's see here. So yeah, we've done that. That's what we've got so far. And that's the end of that magazine. Going on to number 70. So now we're opening up part number 70. And I apologize if the audio changes a bit. The reasoning is that one of my cameras keeps turning off. That's tied to my sound. Okay. So we got some little feet things here. Oh, finally they gave me some more screws too. Whew, so I don't have to rely on my previous parts. That and those parts, and then we got two sets of screws. And this part, which is what we're starting with, we're putting this part right here, just like this, bringing these little faux metal pieces over here. And what we're gonna be doing, as you can see, they have little latches here that go right in like this, in this direction, and then pop into these holes. So I hope, where does it go the other way? It goes the other way and then clicks. So okay, so we stick them inside this hole like this, and we push it down, and it just clicks right in like that. Same thing over here, sliding it in, clicking it into place, flipping it over, and we are going to be securing those with some type of screws. Never know how much of this to trust them, but let's see here. This is not these kind of screws, so it's this kind right here. And I think okay. All right. Now let's see here. So I think I'm able to use these screws. So I'm going to be taking those and I'm going to be screwing them on the outer edge right here, apparently, just like this. There's one, and then I'm going to grab, hopefully I didn't tighten that too much, grabbing another one. And there we go, and popping that right there. Okay, And so I've got those tied in nicely. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this little piece right here. Why is it separate when they molded everything else, outside of just giving it the effect that it looks like it could open? I don't know. But there it is. We're taking that piece, sticking it on there, flipping this over like this, and then I'm going to be taking, I believe, 2 more, this time 6mm, 6mm screws here. Gotta lay it down so the table can kind of push on the other direction. And, okay, yep. All right, another 6mm screw. Here we go. Okay. Using that table to kind of push back. So there's that piece that's now on there for some reason. Then I'm gonna be taking these pieces right here, and we're gonna be putting them onto, let's see, both sides, I guess. So they just kind of, they slide on like this. This is what's gonna be holding the outer panels together. I hope they have more of these black self-tapping screws that they're planning on sending. Okay, so the big thing was making sure that these arrows point at these arrows in order for it to fit together. And in the end, it will connect together just like this. And that's it. That's what we built today. We built this metal piece right here, which is the beginning, I think at the bottom. I'm not sure. And then we've got some side panel here, and then we also have a little bit of maybe an outer panel. Again, I gotta hang on to some parts as we continue to build R2-D2. Now I want to thank Fanhome for providing these parts. Also, if you're interested in actually purchasing this model, check the links below, and don't forget to use the promo code R2-D2. Also, don't forget to check out our Iron Man build and other big videos that we got on the way. In the meantime, like, subscribe, comment below. This is your Geek Fix.